All right, for assignment number 3 here, a border and title block. I'm going to create an A-sized border and title block, and as we create more complex drawings throughout the semester, we will place them on this or similar title blocks. Attached is an example of what the finished assignment should look like. You can see my finished assignment here with my snap example right there in the center, along with the title block that we're going to create here on an A-size paper of 11 by 8.5. And this again is worth 25 points. Double check the criteria down here to make sure you get a full 25 points. If you are missing something on this assignment, I will take a moment to mark up what you are missing on the assignment, and you can have a chance to resubmit it if you want to. All right, so over here to AutoCAD. So I'm in my A B2B template here that we saved it from our last video. And then down here, I'm in my model space right now. So this is where I've built my snap example, and I've also built my title block here. Now, this here's layout, and you can see here, I can double click on here, and I can zoom in and out, and I can see everything that is on there right now. But I'm going to actually delete this here. So I'm going to delete layout 1. And this is layout 1, or even my paper space, what it's commonly called here. And delete here, delete this again. And then I'm going to make I can't delete it. So I'm going to modify it here. Okay, so I'm going to go to Page Setup Manager, and I want to modify it. We're going to change a few settings. If you remember our settings from our last assignment here, AutoCAD High Quality Print, we're going to change this to ANSI, ANSI, Expand A, looking for it, 11 by 8.5. So right down here at the bottom for me. So ANSI A 11 by 8.5. I'm going to do extents here. I'm going to make sure I center the plot. I'm going to change this to monochrome up top here. And I'm going to display the plot styles also. Okay, so that's going to change some of the colors on there for us to see it a little bit better. And then click OK. And I can go close. And all of a sudden here, I have my new drawing here. I'm going to double check here. It looks like something might be off. I think I forgot the expanded. So Page Setup Manager, modify. I want the ANSI A expanded. 8 and 11 by 8.5. And you're going to see this line down here change here in a moment. So click OK and click Close. And then I can see that line just got a little bit bigger. Cool. All right. Now, I'm going to rename this here, and I'm going to rename it A, B to B, so A-size paper, border title block, and then this is going to be to full scale right there. So A, B to B, full. So this here is my viewport. If I double click on here, I can zoom in and out, and I can see everything I've created right now. Now, I'm just going to make this a little smaller, just to give ourselves some more space. So I'll click here to the side, and click there, and then I can drag this up a little bit right here, drag up out of the way. Now if I wanted to start drawing some lines on here, so for example here, if I just drew same tools here, line, and start drawing all the way across this here, and you can see I have this line. Now this does not show up back in our model space. So if I go back over here to my model space here, none of that shows up. Now, if I was to double click on this here, and I was to draw inside of that viewport there, this would show up on my model space, which we're actually going to do for a part of this activity here in a moment. But you can see it back here on this model space up here in the upper left. But I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So I don't need that piece right there. So delete, and that will be gone. And you'll see it disappear here. And I'm also going to delete this on here too. So I'm going to get rid of all of this. So delete that. And sorry, my computer is lagging while I record this video a little bit there. Delete that. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to see how this copies over, because it looks like something funky might be going on with this program. If so, I will just pause the video here. But I'm going to select all of this here, my title block that I've created. I'm going to copy it, Control C. And then I'm going to come over here to my paper space and Control V, and it looks like it pastes over just fine. And I'm going to do my best here just to center this up here. You may not get it perfect, but we're going to do our best just to center it right on the paper, and that looks good right up there. Perfect. Okay, once you got it centered up here, we can go ahead and stretch our viewport. Okay, so I'm going to stretch my viewport right down to this corner here. Right there, it locks in, and I'm going to stretch this up to here. It's going to lock in up there, and I'm also going to stretch this all the way across to right there. Cool. All right, so once I got my viewport stretched there, I'm going to double click off to the side here, escape, and you'll see here as I zoom in, I can see my snap example here. And you can see I can make it ginormous if I wanted to. I can use my hand tool or the center of my mouse to move it around. And we can see the scale down here. So my scale right now, it says that it's 2.1. So it's basically twice the size. I'm going to change this to 1:1, like so. And so we can see it there. And then I'm going to do my best to center. Oop. And as I move it, we got to be careful here. But I'm going to change it to 1:1. And then I'm going to try and not move it there. There we go. And just make sure I get this centered up. And I want to keep it at 1:1 because I want a full scale drawing. So right about there, that looks really good. And then I'm going to lock it. Okay, selected viewports are not locked, so I'm going to lock this here. Now if I try and move this or try and zoom in and out, it's not going to get rid of my viewport there. And you can also see I can change these lines if I wanted to here, but it's always better if you wanted to change them back here in model space. So if I wanted to change a snap example, I highly recommend changing it there. And right now we're going to actually delete this. So we're going to get rid of this. Goodbye. And delete. That's gone. And then I go back here to my paper space here. And you can still see our title block there, which is kind of cool. And I am also going to draw another rectangle. So I'm going to draw a rectangle inside of our viewport here. So REC for rectangle. And this is going to help us for future drawings here, but I'm going to get it right up here in the corner if I can, as close as possible there. And then I'm going to come over here, right there, all the way down to that corner. Perfect. And then I'm going to change that. Okay, I want to make sure I change that. I'm going to change it to viewport. Okay, if I change that layer to viewport, it's not going to print. Okay, so this layer right here, let's just make sure it's on the viewport layer. Oop, not quite yet, so and change it to viewport. And ultimately, when I go to print this here, the viewport layer does not print if you have that set up right. So if I go back to my layer properties here, you can see that my viewport layer does not print or does not plot. It has a little negative symbol right there. So when I go to print it, we're not going to see that pink layer. And if I go back to my model space here, you can see right here I have a nice pink line or magenta line going around my build area. And I'm going to take a moment here to actually title this here because this space now, whenever I open this template up, so I'm going to save it here. Whenever I open this template up here, I'm always going to have a pink area here. So I know that's where I wanted to start building. And I'm going to make some text here, and rotation angle of 0 looks good. And I'm going to type, and we're going to make this big here in a second, but A, B to B template. Okay, you can see here really small right now. And then I am going to go over to my text here. Oh, I erased it accidentally. So let's do it one more time here. Specify start point 0. Sounds good. A, B, T, B template. So I know that this is going to always be my template. So I'm always going to work with this template here. I'm going to change that text here to a different style so we can see it a bit bigger. I'm going to go mech title. And I'm actually going to make this even bigger than that. If I go to my properties here, I can change the height of this here. And I'm going to go to 1. Enter. Oh. Oh. Wrong key. 1, enter. And we'll see that come quite a bit bigger. So I know whenever I open this drawing here that this is always my A to B. A size and then border title block template right here. and then I always want to build in that center area right there. So make sure you save this here. That looks good. And then back here on this drawing, okay, so I think we're ready to print this. This looks sweet. Okay, once you think you got it correct, double check everything on here. Make sure the dates are correct, make sure your name's on there. I am going to add one thing here, so I'm going to double click. I'm going to get rid of this here, and I'm going to put this as assignment number 3 because it's drawing number 3 for our assignment. So assignment number 3. In future drawings, you might change some of this information. It'll be pretty specific. And make sure spelling is correct over here. Make sure nothing's wrong. Make sure the snap example is correct and in the center there. And make sure the logo is down here in the lower right there. Cool. Once it's saved here, I'm going to go up to the Autocad symbol and I'm going to go down to print. And this should already be set up here. So we got ANSI, AutoCAD PDF, monochrome as displayed. All that looks good. I always preview it just to double check it out here. Make sure this looks good. And you can see here, if I zoom in, that all looks great. Cool. And you can see the different line types, different sizes. But yeah, this looks great here. And then I'm going to print it, plot it, and then send it to a printer and then save it to a certain file. I have a Mech1 folder going on up here that I'm always uploading to Google Drive. And this is going to be my A to B template 2.0 right there. And this is a full scale drawing again here, so I'm going to delete all that. But and then I'm going to upload this to Canvas. So that's the file going to Canvas. Once it's on Canvas here, you can see it pops up here. And it should almost look identical to what we got over here. So it looks good. Ooh, one thing I'm actually forgetting here. So, and I'll remind this in class. So I'm looking at the difference here. It's darker on the outside right there. That's okay. I'm not too concerned about that, but I'm concerned about this. So I forgot in my drawing here, if I go back here, I forgot to change this. So my snap example off my 0 layer, and I want to put it on my object layer. So I'll make sure that's in my object layer here, and I'm going to go back here. And it looks like it's not centered anymore, so I need to find it. Let's see where it's at there. Oh, unlock this right there. And where did she go? Okay. There's been some funky things going on with this program because there's so many things going on in the background here. But the general idea right there, so it should pop up, but it's not popping up. So let's double check this here. Object, that's there. I'm going to Control C, Control V. We'll see. It's not even allowing me to paste it right now. So paste that. Delete this here. Let's put this back in there. And remove just in that corner. Let's put it over there in the center. That looks good. And let's see if it pops up back here. And for some reason, it's not popping up in my viewport right now, but it should be there. I'm curious if I go to plot it and preview it here. We'll see if it pops up, but it's not even popping up there. So if that situation is happening to you, I think we'll just have to close out of the program and come back into it and see if it happens there. Hopefully that will fix our problem. But ultimately, what you need to be submitting is something either like this here. And if it's not on the object layer, that's fine. But something a little bit darker, kind of like this here on the object layer, because that is our object there in the center. All right, that is it.